Because the arm of the Lord may be so long, it will catch up with you one day.
Definitely. All right, let's move straight to our next conversation. For the morale of troops to be high, their welfare on and off the battlefield must be enhanced. As part of these efforts, the Nigerian Army has donated houses to 20 wounded in action soldiers in Abuja. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, presented the keys to the houses during the commissioning of 400 housing units under the Phase 1 of Affordable Home Ownership Option for all soldiers in Abuja. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, urged other services of the armed forces to key into the project and provide housing units to personnel. He described the project as a true testament to the untiring efforts of the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, who advanced the welfare of the Nigerian Army personnel. A very good gesture in every sense of the word to lift the spirits of these wounded in action soldiers. Don't you agree?
I agree absolutely. And I've seen soldiers wounded in action. I've seen soldiers being evacuated after their vehicles stepped on an improvised explosive device. Come on. Somebody's body ripped apart before the eyes of his colleagues. Somebody's two limbs gone before the eyes of his colleagues. That is not what anybody wants to see. And you are seeing that soldier in pains. They are lifting him up, trying to put him in a military ambulance. You are watching. You cannot even explain where he is. The pain is overpowering. That should tell you the extent of the sacrifice that these soldiers make.
Absolutely.
Go to Kaduna. There is a 44 reference hospital. It's a military hospital. If you go there, you shed tears. You cannot stand the sight of those soldiers badly injured, maimed for life. Yet, all we can do for this, we can't return the limbs that they have lost.
True.
You can look at those ones and wait here. This is not a life that they chose for themselves.
True.
But they became wheelchair bound in the service of their countrymen. And their countrymen and women must be grateful. This is all that the military wants. When people write some of the nonsense that they write about the military, they should spare a thought for those who sacrifice just for us to feel safe. I always say it, that when you are traveling along the road, maybe you are going to the north, when you see soldiers manning a checkpoint, or even police, well-armed policemen, if all along your bladder was full, but you were too scared to stop and empty your bladder, once you see those soldiers, you feel that confidence.
Feel that safety.
Now go there majestically and empty your bladder. The sacrifices that these people make for us, we cannot quantify it. I just hope that more of these schemes will be instituted across the armed forces and the paramilitary forces. People will remember General Lagbaja
Exactly.
for this and many others. But when it comes to welfare of troops, he prioritized it. That's why his death is a massive, massive loss. A lot of our military men have not recovered from it. When you step into the front lines, you know that you can lose your life anytime.
Anything can happen.
Yes, but your country must show a deep sense of gratitude, and this is part of what we are saying. The Chief of Defense Staff, in terms of the welfare of troops, they are doing so much at this time, and we want to see that continue. The President, there is a new this thing that the President has come up with. that is also meant to look at the welfare of troops and improve on what they get at this time. He has also even increased their remuneration. That happened some months ago. So this has to continue so that these troops will feel that, yeah, they are not doing it in vain. They should be, their family, even when they lose their lives, their families should feel confident that, okay, the military has planned for us. This is where we'll settle. That is what will make people feel like sacrificing a lot more. But if they feel that nobody will remember them, you know that there's a feeling that the person that died has been forgotten. Oh, nobody will want to sacrifice for his country.
The morale. What are your thoughts here? You know, the country now showing that gesture to these wounded soldiers.
You see, I think it's just a confirmation of the fact that the government is trying to show Nigerians that it is a responsive government.
Exactly.
When you are responsive, when you institutionalize something like this, it means that anybody who puts his life on the line so that we can have peace, because they put their life on the line. It's not as if they have no option. They have an option. We have seen security forces that have compromised for their own personal level, but they put their lives on the line for Nigeria. I think the thing should be institutionalized, not only in the military, but in the paramilitary forces. Those people who stood in gap for Nigeria, who put their line. I think the president should even do more by making sure that they have carry life assurance so that they can know that they will be able to serve according to the dictates of our constitution faithfully. They serve the country faithfully with all they have, so that everybody can assure that in any responsibility you have, you will defend Nigeria with the last drop of your blood. I think it is commendable. And I also believe that the war against insurgency can only be won through not only through the physical, but through the morale boosting of the military, morale boosting of the military, because they will be occupied that after all, they are fighting for a worthy cause. And we also have to know that, you know, it is not denied the fact that we have been on this war for the past 20 years, and it is not something that we are likely to get over very soon. So that is the more reason why both the National Assembly should ensure that this process is institutionalized, so that no president will come tomorrow and say that after all, Boko Haram war is over, we should not do that. No.
Do you also think that the army should also work with state governors to provide land so that they can get more build more housing units for soldiers like this?
I think not even only soldiers, for all those for all the members.
The members of the armed forces, police, and all.
In every part of Nigeria that we have a military cantonment or military barrack, such a thing should be provided.
Okay, NDLE, yes, I remember.
All the paramilitary forces, because they are also putting their life on the line. And somebody who smuggled drug worth up to 20 billion, you don't expect him not to fight back if they know that the NDLE is coming to rape them, including the NAFDAC and some other things. So we should make sure that we ensure the life of the paramilitary forces and have a special package for them, because they are putting their life on the line. It's not only those people who are fighting the battle that are casualties. The casualties including those people who are raiding drug joints. Those people are, because drugs has affected Nigeria in many ways. Our young men going on drugs. So that's why I believe that we should not treat all those drug dealers with kid gloves again. True. Nigeria is not, we should not listen to this human rights thing. No, because when you import a drug that is so, the other time the NDLA seized about 5 duplexes in Victoria Garden City. All of them stocked with tramadol and some other things. That is meant for the consumption of some young Nigerians. True. And which means this country has no future when you destroy your young ones with drug. So the paramilitary forces in search of drug too, they should be be empowered.
Now, talking about welfare of soldiers, the police, and everything, let's also look at the state of the barracks. The state of police barracks, state of Nigeria. Do they even have the basic social amenities there?
Well, that's one thing that I'm worried about. Even the training institutions for the police, you need to go and see some of the training institutions. You send people to go for training. There are no louvers, no
toilet.
Windows. They sleep in the open.
Mosquitoes.
Yes. They're left to the elements. And it's not... When somebody did a documentary about the state of
The police college,
police
Ikeja,
college, yeah.
Channels Television.
They should have gone to others. Well, because that's the way others have been neglected. You know, so generally we need to do more in the area of welfare of not just this, troops, but even the paramilitary, because they play. Look, if we defeat drug addiction in our country, crime will go down drastically. All of these people in Boko Haram who are pretending that they are courageous is because of the level of tramadol that they ingest and all that. You know, when the drug fades from their system, they will now be begging. They will now be very sober. A lot of them, their lives are ruined. Without those drugs, they can't even face you and talk to you. It's just like some people on social media who abuse you. The social climbers on social media who abuse people that they are superior to them in every way. When they see you in real life, they put their heads down.
Their tails, you know.
They put the tails in between legs. They put their heads down. This is something that I had witnessed, even in this company. Somebody was abusing me on Facebook. And then he came here. They were supposed to put him on the program. And he saw me, he put his head down. He couldn't do eyeball contact.
But on social media,
on social media,
he's a warrior.
He is a lion on Facebook, but here at TVC, when he saw me, he became a lamb. A lion on Facebook, but when he saw me here, eyeball to eyeball, he became a lamb.
That's serious.
You know, so it's that's the way it is. Many of these people do not take drugs. They can't commit those crimes. So we need to support the NDLA.
Exactly.
They are doing a fantastic job. If we win the war against drug addiction, all of these drugs coming into our country that musicians stupidly ingest and think that it is life. If we win that war, there was a day that they were taking a trailer load of tramadol to Sambisa Forest.
Through the borders, right?
No, to Sambisa Forest.
Okay.
Sambisa Forest stretches across several states. Oh. It's a massive place. They were taking it and they were arrested. Because you can access Sambisa even through Adama, but they were arrested. You can imagine if they are successfully driven that trailer load of tramadol into Sambisa Forest. Those boys will be so happy they will ingest it, they will just be misbehaving. You know, they become animals straight away. Not human beings anymore.
It is. Well, we hope that they will give priority to these things, the welfare of our troops. So let's move straight to our next conversation. It is a cash crunch time.